Hey everybody, welcome to the Gurreck Show. I'm Balin.
I'm Cold Girl.
I'm Anansi.
I'm Jaster Fett.
And today we're talking about Bad Batch, Session 2, Episodes 4, 5, and 6.
Yay!
Yay! Lots happened in these episodes.
A lot happened.
Like, a lot.
I guess a retro introduction of a character from another show that's on Disney Plus. Caution, there are spoilers in this.
Yeah,
if you haven't seen it, it's your fault.
Spoiler alert!
Spoiler alert.
I will put the noise. I don't know. Did you not watch the videos after they're done?
Occasionally.
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 Hurts. It hurts.
But see, this just shows how much faith I have in you. So.
Oh.
Aw.
So, episode 4,
Yes.
we get introduced to Fennec Shand.
Again.
Again.
Reintroduced.
Reintroduced, I guess. But I'd say she's new on the job.
Yeah, canonically, she's introduced.
She must be,
the timeline.
yeah, timeline-wise, she must be pretty new to the gig.
Yeah, because apparently she is pretty new. Like, she's kind of like a rising star in
This one,
in-
she's gotta be in her, 20s?
yeah,
Looking
least.
at The Mandalorian, and she's 40 something. I'm not really good with ages, but my guess would be in The Mandalorian she's 40 or 45 or 50
Right around
at
there.
most. Yeah.
One of them old folks like me.
Yeah. See, you can still be awesome, Balin, and be
Yes.
old. Well, just put racing stripes on your walker. It's fine.
I'm gonna let you take this one because I'm not.
Sorry, my
much
cat decided
further
he was
behind
gonna
you.
make a cameo.
I can't.
Cat was not in the episode though.
There
No.
was some other let's see. That was the Rancor episode. Can we
No.
talk? No.
That's the next episode.
Is that the next episode? Okay.
That's
Sorry.
Yeah.
So, but we also get introduced to their new, I guess, boss now that they're entering mercenary work.
Did you know?
Work.
I was gonna say, did
No.
you look up who plays their Trandoshan boss?
Oh, I did, and my wife actually was like, "That's Cyndi Lauper. That's Cyndi Lauper." No, that's not Cyndi
No.
Lauper. They're from the same town.
Cyndi Lauper.
Who is it? I did not look it up.
It's
Rhea
Rhea
Perlman.
Perlman.
It's Rhea
Perlman.
Perlman.
Cheers.
Yeah.
I was like, is that supposed to mean something to me? Because it doesn't. But I don't know names.
Danny
really-
DeVito's wife.
Okay. See, I know Danny DeVito. I'm sorry.
Oh,
I'm dating myself.
you done introduced Balin to the maker.
Oh,
I'm really bad with actors' names. Really bad.
Mm.
I'm bad with musicians too.
overall, I liked the fourth episode. It was more of a filler, but it was kind of more of a setup for future episodes.
Yeah, I was gonna say it felt more like a trajectory setter.
Oh,
Yes.
that's a good
Very
analogy
much
for
so.
it.
Yeah.
I mean, in future episodes, you really see that. I'm not sure if they're gonna stick with the whole mercenary gig. I did find it interesting that they wanted to know who sent Fennec after them, but they never really get that answer. They're just like, oh, I don't know. Okay, we'll keep working for you then.
Well, as was put, she also didn't really give them much choice.
That's true.
It's like,
Yeah.
you can either work for me and make money and I'll keep you safe, or not. And, never trust somebody that puts the dollar above everything else.
The almighty dollar.
Or the almighty credit, especially now that they're
Credits.
changing credits.
Yes. I think it's interesting that they're the whole thing with the Galactic Empire, and they're basically like, we're going to give you all a barcode so we can keep track of all of you.
It's the Imperial version of a social security number. It's your chain code.
You know?
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
and I'd like some more
Yeah.
details on chain codes, just so, because from a nerd standpoint, I want to know what my chain code is. I mean, considering your chain code includes your date of your, how old you are. So
Did you
Does
have
that-
dog tags in the Navy?
I did, but
It's like that.
we didn't get serial numbers. We got our social.
Well, yeah, me too. Yeah.
I'll break it down, Balin. It's like your Mando mercenary number.
Old.
So you have one. It's just really
Wow.
old.
But we're not allowed to use those outside of
Kokro.
the forum.
I'm
No, Kokro. That's mean. Do you all realize how mean that was? Saying he has like
He's the one who
3-digit
said,
chain code.
but that means he's special. That means he's OG.
I'm old.
He's original gangster, though.
I don't know about that, but
No.
okay.
No, okay.
No.
Episode 4,
Right.
filler trajectory setter.
Yeah.
Episode 5, Rampage.
That was definitely filler, but I enjoyed every second of it.
I did too.
It kind of sets their dynamic up a little more.
A little bit. It kind of
Because
there's
I mean, that's where they establish themselves as mercenaries. So
Truly.
well, and it sets up a lot of ambiguity too, as far as what they do and who they're doing it for and what's involved.
Mhm.
I just want. I
You want
feel
a
like
baby
there's.
Rancor.
I don't want a baby Rancor. I'm good with Baby Yoda. You can keep your baby Rancor. Also, is that Rancor the same one in Jabba's palace? Let's talk about
Yes.
that.
that
Okay.
is.
It would have to be. Those things are old. They can live a long time.
Mhm.
Moochie.
Like it would
That's why-
have to be.
That's why the Rancor Keeper gets so sad, is because he raised it from a toddler.
Right.
Up
I mean
to-
that's what I always took away from Return of the Jedi was that. It's like, oh, this guy's known this Rancor forever. I was actually always really sad for the Rancor Keeper.
And you got the week way coming up. It's okay. It's okay.
Yeah, right. Interesting to see how like dangerous they can be even as, babies. And how big they are as babies
Yeah.
too.
Yeah.
Like they're no joke. I thought it was interesting that Omega's finally getting like her own specialized weapon. She may not be great with it, but I like the fact that they gave her like her own special thing.
Yeah.
Because each of the other ones, have their special, their specialties. Yeah, their skills. And we're
Right.
starting to see hers, develop more and more. I still think she's like a sponge, that she can watch people and pick up on their skills. But
I'm curious to see
skill
what develops with her.
versus yeah, me too. I'm really curious. I also want to know who she's a clone of, because we know that Boba Fett has brown hair. Like, is that a part of the abnormality of the defects,
I don't know.
See,
I mean,
I was led to believe.
or is she somebody else completely?
See, and I was led to believe that since she's a clone, the only genetic template that the Kaminoans have knowingly used is Jango's. And
Knowingly, yeah.
knowingly. And it does ask the audience to kind of assume quite a bit. And I don't know if that's just going to be a bait and switch tactic.
Would they do that in Star Wars? They would never do such a thing.
No. It's always clear cut and dry in Star Wars.
I mean, I don't think I could see her as. Let's just say I don't imagine Rex was sitting there with a bottle of bleach every couple of weeks to hide his roots. He was blonde, so
Well, and that's the
it's
thing
not
is,
like it's out of the question.
if we
Well,
look at
and
the
then-
various clones we've seen through the Clone Wars, some of them have male pattern baldness, some of them don't. Some of them have, blonde hair, some have brown. It's
Would that make them clones, or do they all have their own individually abnormalities?
maybe they didn't wash the petri dishes for some of the batches. I don't know. Contaminants got in.
But no, but in short to what I was saying, that Omega definitely strikes me as a Django clone, just modified like the rest of the Bad Batch. Beyond Omega being, to my knowledge, the only female clone
Right.
from
Right.
Django's genetic template, we don't fully know what makes her special, like what her, apart from her gender, what makes her genetic abnormality or genetic enhancement special. And again, it's one of those things. I feel like it's something that she's learning about it as much as we are. We're seeing her development from her perspective in the show, and it's always nice to have that character that is the audience's eyes, so to speak, that's seeing everything and is kind of seeing it from our perspective. And I feel like that's in part why I don't know if it's why, but the execution of the character of Omega in that role is perfect, and she is absolutely serving her role, and she's bringing a lot of great intrigue. I mean, what's more interesting than a character you don't know everything about? I mean, we know quite a bit about the clones as a fighting force, as an army, as a family. So we already have a general idea of what they're about, sans the individual characteristics. Now here's a clone. At this point, we know the least about. We know she's special. We've seen her speciality, but there has been no defining characteristic that has made her special. And I don't think she knows that either. And so we're kind of learning with her. And so it's always nice to have a character that you can, lack of a better term, relate to.
Right.
That you can kind of get on the inside of that narrative with as an audience member.
I agree.
Yeah.
Oh.
Balin's on the fence. Balin's on the fence about that one.
2 out of 3.
Yeah, I'm still.
Womp womp.
She's
That's still
interesting,
passing.
But, she's not my favorite character within the series.
No, not mine either. But I don't
but-
dislike her.
Balin's also on the fence about
You're
this.
you're busting my shebs, bro. You're
Oh.
busting my shebs.
I hate that kid. It's like, Balin.
Yes. But speaking of favorite characters, as I've mentioned before, Wrecker is one of my favorites, and I'm enjoying watching. Okay, first of all, how often is this poor guy going to hit his head? But
Good
every time he
soldiers.
does, he starts having a
This
headache.
last episode,
And-
episode,
You know,
good. Then he utters
Good
good
soldiers.
soldiers, and I'm like, no, not
Don't
my
do this.
baby, not my baby.
yes, don't do this to my
Wrecker,
Wrecker. So
No, but-
I'm curious where that's going to go. Is he going to finally full on Order 66, or are they going to figure out? Okay, finally someone pays attention to the fact he's not right in the
I
head.
feel like he might
It's-
show signs of turning, and that tips him off that, hey, maybe this is a head trauma thing. And of course, I always cross my fingers
It
that
is
they're
not
gonna
truly-
find Rex.
It is not
But
truly a Dave Filoni project if he doesn't tug at your heartstrings.
it's so true.
They were already working on the scanner to test out and find
Right.
it. But if they run into Rex first, he's going to be like, "Oh, here we go.
Rex is like,
Have
yeah,
to her.
you gotta get that taken care of, buddy.
Yeah.
She'll be right."
Yeah, you're gonna need a doctor.
And then we get to episode 6, which is the heist job,
Oh, great episode.
and
Still, we've got more
Great,
callback
yeah.
characters.
exactly I was gonna say, the callback to the sisters from
The Mart
season 7.
sisters.
The Mart sisters. Yeah,
Yeah, I'm not a fan.
I like them.
I like
not a
them.
fan.
Yeah,
You can never have enough scoundrels.
but
I'm with Balin.
who are they talking to?
That's my question.
That's the question. Who are they
Baylor-
talking to?
Bail Organa, I'm calling it right now.
You
My
think it-
opinion, my thought first was that they were flat out talking to Ahsoka, but there's something that they said is like, wait, that's not Ahsoka. But the outfit
Right.
didn't look like
The
anything Bail Organa-
outfit is not right. It looked like a robe.
It
like-
looked a little Obi-Wan-ish, if I may.
I don't think it's Obi-Wan.
I
Obi-Wan
don't think so either.
at this
but-
point, Obi-Wan has to go in deep hiding.
Deep hiding.
Deep
And
hiding.
yeah.
But
I still
does
think
he?
it's Ahsoka.
Because they're starting a series that's Kenobi.
I know.
Is this him? Because of some of the Legends book, he didn't stay in hiding.
I'm going to cross my fingers saying that it's Rex because Ahsoka has also gone in hiding. This is right after Order 66.
Yes.
Like, we know that they weren't exactly good, not exactly evil. So I don't think they'd hand them in to the Empire. I don't think that's what's going on.
Well, they themselves even said that they're serving a higher purpose against the rising tyranny that is the Empire.
Yeah.
Obviously, I'm paraphrasing there, but that's
Which
essentially the idea that they're trying to
Yes.
because it's a complete turnaround from what they were in the 7th season of Clone Wars, where they were out for themselves, and now they found something bigger than themselves that they're living for.
Which is why I don't think it's any member of like one of the syndicates or the Empire. I do not. So
I do firmly believe we will see Crimson Dawn in this series.
it would be really cool. So I've read some theories that they think that it's Crimson Dawn. But I don't think so, but I wouldn't mind seeing Crimson Dawn.
See, I think
in action.
I've got to wonder if Crimson Dawn is the one that hired Fennec.
Also, can we back up and
Okay.
say when they were on Corellia, I was like, wait a minute, let me do the mental math. Like, how old is Han at this point? He's like 8, maybe? That's probably too young for them to meet, but
yeah.
but I still have that like little excited, they're going to Corellia.
I think we all did. Just that little bit of.
Like, what do I
can we
see?
see
What
it?
do I
Like,
see?
looking at it?
I've been enjoying watching them go to different planets, although I have
Pantoran!
noticed they have been using the same Mandalorian female model. If you pay attention, you can spot a female Mandalorian like on every planet they go to. The same
Are you
like
serious?
yeah.
I might have to go back and rewatch.
You have to look. The short
I-
crop blonde hair and the
Yes!
vest. Yeah,
oh,
she's
okay.
there.
Yeah, you're right. I have kind of glanced,
Yes,
but it's
I
like
am
a blink.
right.
It's a popular fashion throughout the galaxy. Don't hate.
Right.
Let's
Mhm.
just
Mando
okay.
fashion.
I was gonna say, I think we can all agree that Mando fashion is best fashion.
Agreed.
Like, hello.
Best Star is the best wear.
I don't know if
It's a stretch.
the North Face kind of space North Face is kind of my groove.
Space North Face.
Now I'm gonna have to put that.
You
on
mean
my
the
back
space face?
Space
True,
Face,
that's why I go to the Banana Old Republic.
You got a face palm.
plate.
It's not. I'm trying. I think my connection is bad.
Why are you booing me? I'm right.
At least you
Okay.
didn't say Banana New Republic. We'll just go with
I
that.
thought about that, but
Banana
canonically
Old
speaking, in the
Republic.
timeline, that wouldn't be correct.
Oh, that's really good. I like that a lot. I wonder what other brands you could do that to.
Well, we've got Hoth Depot.
Old Imperial Navy.
Old Imperial Navy. You can also do Old Republic Navy in that same strand. Anyway, that's a different topic.
Yeah, I'm not gonna.
Sorry.
Sorry. No,
If I load nicely.
I do kind of think it might be Rex. Like that's my theory.
Well, because their only point of contact has been Ahsoka, so it's got to be either somebody connected to
Which
Ahsoka.
is why I think
Which-
if Ahsoka is now in also deep hiding, if you've read the Ahsoka book,
I have.
of course.
course.
To be fair, and this is something I've noticed in the very first episode of Bad Batch.
Continuity? What's that?
Well, yeah, they're not there. I mean, the
Yeah.
novels, and I sort of knew this was going to happen because, let's be honest, who reads?
There you go. Yeah.
Regardless, they're not sweating the minor details. They're still
yeah.
covering the broad strokes of everything that's happened between all the mediums. So there's not there isn't a whole lot of major discontinuity between all the medias. But when it comes to the triage of what takes precedence, anything on screen takes precedence over what's written and what's printed.
Yes.
That's so
Yeah.
what we see on screen is the definitive version of that particular story arc in the canon.
Yes.
And I think that's why I've had a better time coming to terms with, and really it was not much. It was kind of like that's not how I read it, or it's kind of, that's not how it went. But like I said, I've always known that primarily Star Wars is a visual media, and as such, a lot of what's really going to stick is going to be on screen, and then I would say right behind that's going to be the comics, and then kind of the books. The
You
books
have
are
to
going to
let
be
go of attachments.
yeah.
Just let go. Just whatever attachments you have, just they don't matter.
Since they kind of chucked out the window, like the legacy, legends, sorry, all of that, everything that has been published, I also take as canon. But I do believe you that you're right. If it's shown on screen or on a show, then that's your canon.
That's the definitive version of that specific story.
I gotta say that it's so satisfying to see things finally come up on screen that you've read about, and you're like, oh, this is cool, and it's a thing now. It's official.
Cobb Vanth being a character that's made that transition from book to screen. What are some other characters? Thrawn. Oh well, Thrawn. That's. I mean, and no offense to that. That is literally the lowest hanging fruit. I mean, how long have we as Star Wars fans been clamoring to see Thrawn in major visual media for Star Wars? It wasn't a matter of if; it was just a matter of when.
But it's so great. Like after enjoying the books and being like, he's in Rebels. It's a thing. It's happening.
And the thing
So he's a badass.
Is that they kept him true to the. While his appearance may not have been the same as it was in the Legacy books, the spirit of the character was still there. The art appreciation,
yes, he's
the
still scary.
tactician.
He's still conniving. He's still methodical.
He's still very Sherlockian.
Yes.
Very Sherlockian.
And you can tell he still plays by that code of honor that he holds very dear.
He's lawful neutral.
Yeah. So I really enjoyed the way they brought Thrawn to life in the animated. I'd love to see him come to one of the.
We're gonna see him. We've got to. We've got to see him in Ahsoka.
My theory on that is
it's not if, it's when.
I know we're kind of deviating from Bad Batch here a little bit, but I'll say my piece here and then we'll move on there. I genuinely feel like the new Disney Plus multimedia telling of these congruent stories between Rangers of the New Republic, The Mandalorian, Book of Boba Fett, Ahsoka. You would not Kenobi. Yeah. You would not have, maybe less so much with Kenobi and
I'm so excited about Kenobi.
But the four congruently telling series that's revolving around the same time frame. First of all, your first clue is it takes place 5 years after Return of the Jedi. You wouldn't name drop such a major character like Thrawn if you weren't going to use him. And I told Jen from Wasserun Clan this. I said, this is a retelling of the Dark Force Crisis.
This is
of the original Thrawn trilogy.
This is catching up people who don't do that reading to things that are happening.
It's a retelling.
I think you're onto something with that, and I think what it's going to actually lead to, though, is a new trilogy. But we'll see. So back to Bad Batch.
Yes.
Back to Bad Batch. Yes. Sorry.
Yeah.
How many episodes are in Bad Batch? Have they released the final number?
I do not know. Let me consult the oracle known as Google.
I can't imagine it's less than 13.
And mighty Google. It could be. I mean,
Because how many did they do in the final season of Clone Wars? Didn't they also do like 13 of them?
Was
Yeah.
it 13?
Thereabouts.
Yeah.
Okay. I feel like it'll be around the same. I was just worried that
that's
they're
what I
going to
was
do that
thinking.
whole 8 thing. And I'm like, I'm not ready. They have too much to fit in. They can't do it in 2 episodes.
Well, I was going to say, because what helps the writers out tremendously, Dave Filoni specifically in this, is the sense that while it's a spiritual successor of Clone Wars, if you recall, in the final 2 or 3 seasons of Clone Wars, you had 3 congruent story arcs happening at once because you had so many characters and stories that you had to cover. Whereas with
it's why we have Bad Batch at all.
And the thing about Bad Batch is your focus is really around 2 perspectives.
The fact that they're doing to the Star Wars universe what they had started with the Marvel Cinematic Universe, I am here for. I love all the different sides of different stories that all fit in the same universe, and I love it. It shows you how broad and how wide this can really reach. And
Star Wars,
I think it's so smart.
The thing that I think Star Wars has Marvel beat on, and I think that margin is greater than people think, is Star Wars has become a franchise with such
cult following,
with such a vast universe.
Yes.
Go on.
It is in the genre of science fiction fantasy, but within that franchise, it can delve back into other genres. You can have comedies. You can have war films.
You can have westerns.
You can have westerns. And so it's become its own genre.
Depending on the story you want to tell, you can tailor how you do it.
Which is very fitting because George Lucas borrowed from various genres.
Everything.
To create Star Wars. So it's only natural.
Samurai movies.
Exactly.
Yeah, westerns. Yeah, everything.
And so
I think this thing is great.
There isn't a story in Star Wars that's not worth telling.
It won't be complete till we get a good blaxploitation film with Lando or something.
Lando's got a series coming.
Lando's got a series. It's happening.
Perfect, baby.
But we all know we want him to have a Blastech 45.
Lando Lakes.
All right, I'm gonna start muting people. This is
you can't deal with the younger 2 over here.
Somebody get my walker.
You failed me for the last time, Balin.
Oh, okay, we're good. Sorry, you couldn't help it.
Meanwhile, our subscription numbers just dropped.
I'm not apologizing this time.
I'm not apologizing. We're hilarious. Everyone else can deal. Balin, did you get an answer from the almighty Google?
All it says is 6.
Forget them kids.
Which is essentially how many episodes there are out right now.
So they haven't. I can't find an.
They're not gonna release it until we see it. That's what that tells me. It's a secret.
Well, I mean, no, I'll keep that opinion to myself.
What?
You get a lot. You get a lot of it's not mean or anything, and not like you have to bleep me out on this one, but it's yeah. Yep, the Nazi's ready just in case. No, it's just about general Disney Plus subscription that a lot of people will just sign on to binge watch a series, cancel their subscription, and not care anymore. And
let's not anger business daddy.
And so I think what Disney's trying to do is it's trying to keep its subscribers.
Oh, you are close.
So close.
Now, on the other hand, I've watched several series on Disney Plus.
Oh, so have I. So have I.
I am here for it.
I am too.
I will happily give them money.
I am too. It is in my opinion, if you're going to have a set few of streaming services, that's one you got to have.
Yeah.
Yes.
I actually today went through and cut cable because everything's going to streaming, and
everything's
Disney
going
Plus
to streaming.
Is one of the ones that's very. I mean, I pay for my subscription annually. If none of this month to month, because I'm going to watch Disney Plus. Period.
Right. Disney Plus is definitely one of those ones. Not only do you get the really classic old stuff, they're constantly adding new stuff, new content, and
like the Star Wars vintage set.
Yes, like everything, all the Ewok stuff.
Yeah,
That's made it come back. They're like, oh guys, you forgot about this. We brought it out of the vault so you can see it. Cringe with us.
The OG standalone films.
Right.
I will not be happy until I see Caravan of Courage again.
No.
And Wilford Brimley swinging his staff, taking out dewlocks. Bring it on!
Diabeteses.
Diabetes.
And their diabetes testing supplies. Yes.
Yes,
people are sitting there going, "What the heck are they talking about?"
They lost me.
What's a Wilford Brimley?
Had to record that one.
Beep, 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 boop, boop. Boop, boop. Look, you have sound effects.
We keep getting off topic.
Perfect. I don't need any Foley artists. You guys are it.
Alrighty. Well, I think we have covered the Bad Batch and a little bit beyond.
We'll see you again in 3 episodes to talk.
Hopefully. Next week. Tune in next week when we discuss something else. We don't
Whatever
know.
the topic may be.
We don't know. We normally come up with the stuff literally a day or two before shooting.
Sometimes a few hours.
If there's something our viewers want to see, let us know in the comments. Right after you click like and subscribe.
Or
down here. Wherever they're at. I don't know.
Wherever they're going to be. They're usually like here and here.
Over there,
the video editor guy. He puts the buttons wherever he wants.
Depends on which one of us is on the bottom of the screen when this happens.
Our illustrious Verilor, who makes the magic possible.
Yes.
Who's that?
Well, it ain't me. I vacated that position. Which one?
Yeah, you left us for a higher calling. Or just more paperwork.
Sucker.
Bye.
And on that note, this has been the Gurreck Show. I'm still Balin.
I'm still Kokro.
I've never stopped being a Nazi.
And last I checked, I'm still Jaster Fett.
And you're not.
Until next time.
Bye.